Hi, welcome to Miss Music. On this channel, I'm looking at music that may have passed you by. Look, if you told me that I could only listen to one artist from now on till the end of time, of course that would be a really hard decision, but I think I would have to choose Joni Mitchell's music. And it's not an easy choice because, I'm thinking, well, what about David Bowie? I really love Rush, perhaps Kate Bush. I'm a real fan of Kate Bush, but no, I think it really would have to be Joni Mitchell. And one of my biggest regrets is never having seen Joni Mitchell live. And if you have seen her, what was she like? I imagine it would be just the most amazing concert. I think Joni Mitchell is one of the most influential recording artists of the past 80 to 100 years. And I think she's also one of the most underrated singer-songwriters of her generation, or maybe of any generation. I'm going to look at one of her archival releases, and I kind of always approach these archival releases from artists with some dread and trepidation. If there's an album I love, then the last thing I really want is to hear that album in an imperfect form. And for me, that's often the case with these kinds of archival releases. I just don't need to hear 13 different versions of Revolution by the Beatles or the early demos of a favourite track. Sure, I think they have a place, kind of an historical context, but normally they're not for me. So for that reason, I put off listening to Joni Mitchell's archival albums until quite recently, when I started listening to Joni Mitchell's Archives Volume 3, the Asylum years, and I absolutely do not regret it, and in fact I regret not listening to this sooner. There's a lot to get through here. There's over 5 hours of music and 96 tracks, and I was expecting kind of bits and pieces, incomplete songs, partial takes, but there's nothing like that here. Just 4 recordings and live tracks, and it's a testament to Joni Mitchell that she always sounds like she's giving her all, even on demo tracks. If you've heard the album, do let me know what you think, and please do subscribe or just hit that like button below. That would help. It would be really great. So, reason number 1 for listening to this box set really of albums is, I think, from The Roses until Wild Things Run Fast, Joni Mitchell's voice was at its most expressive, and there's an aching truthfulness, I think, to her music at this time. Of course, there are some light-hearted tracks, but to tell you the truth, there are not that many. What I loved about this collection of albums was that even when the production is completely stripped back, her voice still sounds so stunning. Often, without the band, the overdubs, the double tracking, she sounds even more immediate, more honest, and throughout the album, it often feels like you are there in the room while she sings. In current musical fashions, I feel that we rarely hear the unadulterated voice of the singer, and that's a shame because you lose the sometimes aching fragility, this connection directly to the heart of the singer that you get with people like Joni Mitchell.
Heard it in the wind last night, sounded like applause. Did you get around resounding for your way up here? Seems like many dim years ago since I heard that face to face, or seen you face to face. The night I can feel you here. I get these rose notes on butterflies and lilac sprays from girls who just have to tell me they saw you somewhere. In some office sits a poet and he trembles as he sings, and he asks some guy to circulate his soul around. On your mark, red ribbon runner, the caressing rev of motors finely tuned like fancy women in 30s evening gowns. Up the charts, off to the airport, your name's in the news, everything's first class, and the lights go down, and it's just you up there getting them to feel like that. Remember the days when you used to sit and make up your tunes for love and pour your simple sorrow to the sound hole in your knee. And now you're seen on giant screens and at parties for the press and for people who have slices of you from the company. They toss around your latest golden egg, speculation, well, who's to know if the next one in the nest will glitter for them so. I guess I seem ungrateful with my teeth sunk in the hand that brings me things I really can't give up just yet. Now I sit up here, the critic, and they introduce some band, but you know they seem so much confetti looking at them on my TV set. Oh, the power and the glory, just when you're getting a taste for worship, they start bringing out the hammers and the boards and the nails. I heard it in the wind last night, sounded like applause. Chilly now in the summer, no more shiny hot nights. It's just the arbutus rustling and the bumping of the logs, and the moon swept down black water like an empty spotlight.
So reason number two, before her work became more political and engaged with social justice, many of Joni Mitchell's songs were focused squarely on her life experiences. But being the artist she is, and this is, I think, what makes her incredible, while singing about her fears, insecurities, loves, and love's loss, she manages to capture emotions and situations we've all felt or all lived. She taps sharply into the human condition to the point where I often feel she's singing about my fears, my insecurities, my love's loss. The early songs are touchingly honest, and Lessons in Survival epitomizes her power of self-reflection.
Lesson in survival, spinning out on turns that gets you tough. Guru books, the Bible, only a reminder that you're just not good enough. You need to believe in something once I could in our love. Black road, double yellow line, friends and kin, campers in the kitchen. That's fine sometimes, but I know my needs, my sweet tumbleweed. I need more quiet times by a river flowing, you and me, deep kisses and the sun going down. Maybe it's paranoia, maybe it's sensitivity. Your friends protect you, scrutinize me. I get so damn timid, not at all the spirit that's inside of me. Oh baby, I can't seem to make it with you socially. There's this reef around me. I'm looking way out at the ocean. Love to see that green water in motion. I'm gonna get a boat and we can row it if you ever get the notion to be needed by me. Fresh salmon frying and the tide rolling in. To see a friend tonight. It was very late when I walked in. My talking as it rambled revealed suspicious reasoning. The visit seemed to darken him. I came in as bright as a neon light and I burned out right there before him. I told him these things I'm telling you now. Watch them buckle up in his brow. When you dig down deep, you lose good sleep and it makes you heavy company. I will always love you, hands alike, magnet and iron, the souls.
Joni Mitchell is just an amazing songwriter. I really don't think this can be denied. Her lyrics are always beautifully constructed, rich and transportive. Over the course of many years, I have listened to these songs time and time again, and I never, ever tire of them. The lyrics to this next track, Harry's House, build layer upon layer of meaning and depth. Just in the first few lines, Mitchell can convey the woes of the song's protagonist as he takes a taxi into town. And then over the next 6 minutes, she neatly unravels the world of this captain of industry to reveal his empty existence. It's a fascinating song. Take a listen to this.
Heat waves on the runway. As the wheels set down, he takes his baggage off the carousel. He takes a taxi into town. Yellow schools of taxi fishes, Joan in a ticking whale, caught up at the lights in the fishnet windows of Bloomingdale's, watching those high fashion girls, skinny black models with raving curls, and beauty parlor blondes with credit card eyes, looking for the chic and the fancy to buy. He opens up his suitcase in the Continental Suite, and people 20 stories down, colored currents in the street. A copter lands on the Pan Am roof like a dragonfly on a tomb, and businessmen in button-downs press into conference rooms. Battalions of paper-minded males, talking commodities and sales, while at home their paper wives and their paper kids paper the walls to keep their gut reactions hidden. yellow checkers for the kitchen, climbing ivy for the bath. She is lost in house and gardens. He's caught up in chief of staff. He drifts off into the memory of the way she looked in school, with her body oiled and shining at the public swimming pool. Shining hair and shining skin, shining as she reeled him in to tell him like she did today just what he could do with Harry's house and Harry's take-home pay.
I hope somehow I've put across my enthusiasm for the music of Joni Mitchell. She is an incredible artist, and I really couldn't live without these albums. Let me know what you think, and thanks for listening.